I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please, Mrs. Clark.
Trustee Bertelson,
Excused.
Trustee Black,
Here.
Trustee D,
Here.
Trustee Lucine,
Here.
Trustee Moran,
Here.
Trustee Neal,
Here.
Trustee Reinhardt,
Here.
and Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome to the September 9th Bozeman School District School Board meeting. Thank you for joining us. Public comment will be taken throughout the meeting on agenda and non-agenda items. During public comment, no member of the public will be allowed to comment on contested cases, other adjudicative proceedings, or personnel matters. The public portions of this board meeting are being recorded in accordance with District Policy 1420 and Section 2-3-214 MCA. By remaining in this meeting, all participants and attendees acknowledge they may appear on the recording, which will be placed on the school district's website for a minimum of 1 year from today. Further instructions about participating will be provided throughout the meeting. Before we engage in the business of the board, I would like to share with all the core purpose of the Bozeman School District, which can be found on the back of our nameplates. It reads, Bozeman Public Schools exists to ensure high-level learning for all students. We will now move to agenda item 2.1, student representative reports. Mr. Baumgardner, welcome back.
It's good to be back. Really appreciate you guys having us. Pranchu is my president this year. He's supposed to be here tonight, so we'll see if he's able to pop in the next few minutes. But busy start to the year for us. This year we had the early homecoming date, which is this weekend, so lots happening already with student council and many changes within our district. We had Raptor Weekend a couple weeks back in the summer, which is our open house kind of community-wide celebration. Hello. It's Pranchu.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
Community-wide, intro to the year, which included our football scrimmage, community pep rally, and the grand opening of our green space, which is out back of GHS, which was built and fundraised by Democracy Project. And then first day of school, we had our freshman orientation. We're introducing a class of 350 into our school. Super full, super cool to have them. We had about 75 volunteers across different clubs, including student council, the cheer team, dance team, and NHS, who helped us lead groups around the school, guide tours, and introduce them to what is GHS community. This week we have homecoming, so Spirit Days today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, to try to build up some school culture, which is a big focus this year for us. So today was Decades, tomorrow is California versus Jersey Shore, Wednesday is College Game Day, Thursday will be our class colors, and Friday is Blue and Black Day. We have our pep assembly on Friday, so we're gonna be having whole school together to celebrate sports, activities, and everyone who's been already working pretty hard so far this school year, and get ready for our homecoming game. And then our dance for homecoming is this Saturday from 8 to 11, which will be in the GHS gym. Pranchu, you want to talk about sports?
Yeah, for sure. So all our sports teams are starting off the season very strong. Our football team is 2-0 currently. Our boys soccer is undefeated. Our girls soccer has just one loss in crosstown to Bozeman. Our volleyball team is 6-0 and looking very strong to compete. And they have their first home game this week. Our golf team is looking very strong this year, with girls placing first at 2 consecutive tournaments and boys placing second at 2 consecutive tournaments. Cross country girls just placed first at the last tournament and boys placed third. Our cheer team is looking strong as well. We have a lot of numbers and it's showing up and really bringing community and supporting our GHS Raptors. And it's the same as well with our dance team.
You want to have music?
Yeah, for sure. So for music and arts, we're seeing a transition period for our orchestra programs and a lot of our arts as a whole, but we're still seeing success in things like Montana All-State, where we've had around 12 admittances from Gallatin High School across choir, band, and orchestra from Gallatin High School, which is pretty good. And then overall for band, orchestra, and choir, we're all just trying to deal with this block schedule and working towards our first concerts.
Some other things happening. Senior Sunrise was last week for our seniors, so we had a really great turnout. Like I said, one of the big focuses this year for GHS and Stuco is the culture of our school, and really working on building up that positive impact we want to have and leave for the school community going forward. So it's a good step in the right direction to have all our seniors kind of show up and be a big part of what we're trying to do. So we had some donuts and watched the sunrise out in the football field. In addition to all of that, many changes just in the regular school day with the block schedule and prime time, as we're calling it. So it's been pretty good so far. Very few complaints relative to what we kind of expected from students, and it's been a pretty smooth transition. In addition to that, phone usage has been pretty ideal in terms of what we expect. Very few complaints, and students have really kind of gotten on board with all of the ideas that have been presented to them, so it's been a really smooth transition so far. So just kind of building on our overarching goal for the year of working on our culture and growing GHS as a whole. But it's been a great success, and so far, great start to the school year.
Great report. Thank you very much. And Franchu, thank you for coming. It's good to see you. Laszlo, you're an old hat here. We're glad to have you back. So are there any trustee questions from the gentleman from Gallatin? Sandy?
Is there something that you found that you're surprised about or that you like about block scheduling?
For me, it's kind of nice to have free periods line up the way they do for me, just working with college apps and all that stuff that comes along with senior year. So the way the timing kind of worked out, it's nice to have a lot of extra time just the way that my free periods lined up, so I appreciate that. And having those consecutive periods where it lasts longer does help kind of staying on track with some like projects, labs and stuff in science classes. It helps to have that continuous period where we can keep working on the same topic. It definitely has some issues with things where it's hard to go 2 days without seeing that, but it is beneficial in many ways as well.
Yeah, so I don't have as many free periods as Laszlo, but I will say that the block schedule has really streamlined like science classes. For example, I'm taking AP chemistry this year, and it's made it very manageable to where we can have a very nice extended lab period as well as a nice extended classroom period. So it feels like we're really engaging with the subject, and I'm just getting more education in a better streamlined fashion. So yeah, but overall it's been very good. I think students are transitioning into it very well.
Well, that's good news. Thank you. Welcome, guys. Doing well. Thank you for coming. Tell us your names, please. That'd be great.
My name is Truman Dickerson. I'm the student body president at Bozeman High School.
And I'm Griffin Fustall, the student body vice president.
Thank you. Do you guys have a report on BHS?
We do. That report was exemplary. We will do our best to meet that in the future. But so far, what we've got going on, freshman orientation, we started the year off great. I was there for that. I was absent for the past 4 days. Other than that, we met in the morning, got all the freshmen in. We had an amazing assembly, sort of went over what it means to be a Hawk, all that, like expectations generally. Then we led them around the campus. I think we have a really great group coming in this year, which is fantastic. Then we moved on. Our first meeting, we tell them a little bit about that. I was not there for that.
So our first meeting was on Wednesday, and during that meeting we talked about just upcoming events. So we started planning homecoming. We started planning the homecoming assembly, senior sunrise, and just going over stuff like that. And this year we're really trying to incorporate the voice of the majority of the students. So we're forming smaller committees. So for example, for senior sunrise, we're getting a group of seniors that we feel represent the entire class in order just to hear their opinions and what they would like to see from that.
Mm-hmm. So upcoming, we have homecoming. We have not planned, or we have not done our homecoming yet. It is going to be September 21st. Week before that, same deal. We have a lot of spirit days that we've planned out, trying to get the school hype up, trying to get a lot of homecoming attendance, and then our homecoming football game that Friday, which we are also hoping to see a big turnout. Past that, we're looking to plan senior sunrise. We haven't finalized anything about our senior sunrise yet, except for that we're looking to do it on the week after homecoming. So a bit of a slower start at BHS, but could you give them something of a sports rundown? I gotta be honest, it's not all in my head.
Yeah. So last Friday we did completely blow out Butte. So that was good. Really great student section. We're also so the student section leader came to us and asked for some money. So we've been supplying them with some money just to especially towards the beginning of the year where they purchased like I think it was like confetti things and streamers and all sorts of that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Past that, I am not sure that we have.
Freshman elections.
Oh yeah, and we're looking to plan freshman elections so that we can get some of the younger kiddos into student council, even though they usually just run our Instagram. But that'll be cool.
That was great. Winging it from the seat of your pants report. So, thank you. Any trustee questions? Sandy?
I'd like to ask the same question that I asked these guys about block scheduling. Was there something that was surprising to you that went well or something you like about it?
Yeah, so it's taken, we're still taking time to get the intervention really rolling. So far, interventions have just been with our homeroom teachers. But the enrichment, I think, is actually super helpful for the kids that are getting it. We get some extra learning. And I'm very excited to begin to be able to like set aside some time with my teachers, which is something I've always done. But obviously there's just not been like an actual time for me to do it. So it sort of felt like I've been an inconvenience. So I think that that's actually super helpful. And it also is kind of helpful that like the longer class periods, I know a lot of kids like sort of like are groaning, like, I don't want to be in class for 80 minutes straight, but I think it's actually nice that we just have a consistent, like we're learning one thing for 80 minutes. It helps like learning be more efficient. I feel like we don't have to like have an intro and an outro to every class period. And so I think that it's actually been surprisingly more my thing than I thought it would be.
Yeah, for me, I must say the school days definitely feel shorter just having 4 classes because in some ways it's less content because I don't have to remember like all my schoolwork for 7 different classes and what I have to do the next day. But with 4 classes, it's a lot easier just to manage that. Like, oh, I know I like only have to remember 4 things at homework. So that's something I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and I've heard similar things throughout the student body. It has been, a lot less controversial than I thought it would be. Everybody is actually sort of seeming to adjust to it pretty quick, which I think is great.
Turns out the thought of change is scarier than change itself.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, thanks, everyone. Appreciate you coming. So you guys are always welcome to stay as long as you want, and you're also welcome to leave if you have homework or whatever. So we just appreciate you guys coming to the first meeting of the month, every month, and thanks for your engagement.
Amazing, thank you so much.
You bet. Recognition and awards, item 2.3.1, Shape Montana, Dave Oberle Striving for Excellence Award. Miss Nellie Brown. And Nellie, if you could hit that button on the right, that'll turn everything green. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, thanks for having us. It is my pleasure that I introduce Julianne Harris, the 2024 recipient of the Dave Oberle Striving for Excellence Award. This award recognizes individuals who stand out as positive role models with their efforts to promote the values of health and physical education. Julianne does just this. She has been a health enhancement teacher at Emily Dickinson for the past 6 years, and she prides herself on having positive and lasting relationships with students, parents, and staff. Jules teaches hundreds of students every day, ranging from APE to students in grades K through 3. She has brought a wide variety of new skills and games to our students, with her lessons including things from archery, Quidditch, golf, eclipse ball, and she also brought Nutrition Island with Chef Mikey to our students. Along with teaching at Emily Dickinson, Jules has started a Lunchroom's Legends program, which helps promote leadership skills with 4th and 5th grade students. Last year, Jules was also asked to come to MSU and teach a college course for that adaptive physical education kids. Julianne is a rock star. She is always willing to help whenever and wherever needed, and we are so lucky to have her at Emily Dickinson.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
You go by Julie, Jules, or Julianne. I heard all three just now.
Jules is the main one.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any trustee questions? Tanya?
I'm curious what you had to go through in order to be selected for this award, because I know sometimes these can be really complicated. And then my other question is, what brought you into the health enhancement field?
So your first question, I actually got nominated by Julie Smith, who's a fellow health enhancement teacher in the district. And then I had to go through a very lengthy process of applying for the award. I had to get letters of recommendations from our principals, and then was selected via our SHAPE board members. I wanted to be in health enhancement because I was a Bozeman High School kid, and I had great health enhancement teachers and loved being able to go to that class. I went to Lifetime Sports and was like, that's what I want to do. And so I went to college for it and have been very lucky to find my passion. It's been very fun.
Sandy?
You mentioned adaptive PE. Have you worked with those kids? Or
Yes.
do you work with those kids right now?
Yep, so right now I teach that class every day for 40 minutes a day, and I have for 6 years. And they're probably my favorite group. It's fun to see them every day make those changes and that growth throughout the years.
And she has a fun plan for some adaptive PE get-togethers for kids across the district this year.
I'd love to do a field day for just adaptive PE kids.
Well, I thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Great. It's very important.
Thank you.
What is the kids' favorite activity, just generally speaking?
It depends on the day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do stations. Are you talking about adaptive PE? So we do stations, and I love that. But Thursday, Friday, we play games, and it's a close tie between The Floor is Lava and Noodle Wars. So
Sounds great. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for everything you do for the kids.
thank you.
Trustee Lucine.
Yeah, well, thank you. Good to see you,
Yeah, good to see you too.
Nellie and Julianne. I have two questions before we start. One is, who was Dave Oberly and why is this named after him?
That's a great question. He is just a health enhancement person in Montana. It's a very new award, so we don't know too much, but he strove for excellence. That's all. That's the basis of it.
Okay, thank you. And the other question is, in health enhancement, since we have a policy of really addressing the needs of every student in class, how do you do that in a health enhancement class?
That's a good one. I enjoy levels because these kids like video games. So starting kids out and working through different levels allows me to adapt to their needs. So if I have a student who has never thrown a ball before, they start at level 1. But I got kids who could join the MSU football team. They bounce up levels, and so I allowed them and modify activities that allow them to level up and perform at different spots.
Well, thank you. Sounds like this is a well-deserved award, so
Thank you.
it's my pleasure to make the following recommendation. We adopt the following resolution, whereas SHAPE Montana, Society of Health and Physical Education, is a professional organization of educators dedicated to promoting healthy lifestyles among all Montanans through the promotion of health education, physical education, lifetime fitness, and recreational activities. and dance. And whereas Emily Dickinson Health Enhancement teacher Julianne Harris was awarded the Dave Oberly Striving for Excellence Award, which recognizes a health enhancement teacher who stands out as a positive role model and promotes the values of the health and physical education profession while striving for excellence at the grassroots level. And whereas the award ceremony was held on July 29th, 2024, at the annual SHAPE Montana State Conference, therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees recognize and honor Julianne Harris.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Lucine, seconded by trustee Black. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you both for coming, and could we invite you to join trustee Lucine out there for a photo? Sure. Thank you. Item 2.3.2, Jeremy Bullock Memorial Trust SRO of the Year. Marilyn
ask-
King, yes, go ahead.
I'd ask for the SRO team to come up. The Jeremy Bullock Memorial Trust was established in memory of Jeremy Bullock in 1994, following his tragic death at Margaret Leary Elementary School in Butte. He was the unintended victim of a school shooting on April 12th in 1994. And the trust was established in his memory and to provide funding for local agencies and also any type of support for school safety in memory of Jeremy and to aid students in Montana. Every year, that trust solicits nominations for SRO of the Year, and our district decided that we wanted to nominate our entire team of SROs. I can tell you that it was a very easy application to submit. We sent out an email asking principals to express something about the contributions our SROs make in our schools, and we received incredible feedback from every principal right away about the difference our SROs make in the lives of our students, staff, and parents. From just the littlest things that maybe people don't even think about that make a meaningful impact in the life of a student to some of the more heavy-hitting kinds of, hard-hitting kinds of things that law enforcement officers do. The team and a few administrators attended the Jeremy Bullock Safe School Conference in August. There's an annual conference, and the award was presented there. So I'll ask Sergeant McCormick to introduce his team.
All right. To my left is Connor Foley. He's the SRO at Gallatin High School. To my right here is Jeremy Tankink. He's at Chief Joseph, and he also takes care of the middle schools that feed into Chief Joseph. On the end is Harley Barbau. He's at Bozeman High. And not present is John Ogden. He's on a fishing trip in Minnesota, I believe.
We all know who John is.
He's at Sacagawea, sorry.
We all know John.
Yeah. Yeah, once you meet him, you don't forget him.
Thank you for that presentation, Mars. Any trustee questions for the gentleman? Kevin?
I don't necessarily have a question, just a comment. I just have seen you guys through our different meetings and at the schools throughout the years, and just you guys match so many of our teachers and our administrators and our staffs, just the passion that you have for kids and everything that you do for them and the thoughts that you go into supporting all the kids in the district. So just want to express my appreciation for everything that you guys do on a daily basis and all the great things, the impacts that you're having positively on kids, but then also the tough things that you work with every single day. So just really impressed with what you guys do and the people that you guys are. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sandy?
I have trouble remembering to use the button. It's a celebration when I do. I also want to echo what Kevin just said. I thank you for what you do every single day. I've watched interactions with kids and you guys in the halls when we're in the schools, and it's a great thing to see. Remind me, do you choose to be an SRO? And could someone share what made you want to go on that pathway versus the other avenues that law enforcement provides?
Well, you want to jump in?
I can. Yeah. So when I went through MSU, I decided I wanted to be a police officer. It was my senior year. I did an internship with the Bozeman Police Department, and I think it was Scott and Mark Van Slyke at the time. Anyways, I got to like kind of go do this shadow of what they did on a daily basis. And basically I was like, this is the coolest job ever. And I couldn't believe that they got to do what they get to do. So I guess I wanted to be a police officer, and at some point I wanted to do the SRO gig, or to be at a school. I always thought that I wanted to be at like an elementary school or the younger kids. Thank goodness I didn't do that. Nothing against little kids. I have 3 kids and they're 3 little kids anyways. But I love being at the high school, and I think it's like the perfect fit. I'm as happy as could be, and I do believe it is the best job, at least in our department. I don't know how Jeremy and John do like the younger stuff, because there is difficult and tough things that they have to see. Not saying Connor and I don't have to see that, but it's different when it's like a 14-year-old to 18-year-old, as opposed to like 5 or 6 when these kids start, up to like real young kids, when things are happening, whatever that looks like. So I'm fortunate to be in that position, but yeah, it came from seeing Van Slyke and McCormick kind of interacting and how they were dealing with stuff they were dealing with, and just they're still part of a team, and then it's a greater team being with the school. I guess that was, I didn't do a great job explaining it, but that got me to want to do the SRO position or try and put in for it. And I didn't expect to get it when I put in, and thankfully I did. And here I am.
I would just kind of also say that in a lot of departments around the country, sometimes the police officers are told you're going to be the school resource officer because nobody's interested. But I would say, going back 20-some years, the relationship that our police department has with the school district has made it such a great partnership that I think it's a pretty sought-after job. So hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll have the staffing and the funding to add new positions to this group, and I don't doubt that we'll have people interested.
Yeah, and sorry, for me it was something kind of similar to Harley. When the position had opened up, I contacted Mark Van Slyke and went to Gallatin High School, kind of followed him around. I watched him do a presentation for a class, which I just thought was really cool, because I had an SRO in high school, and I really didn't see him a whole lot, you know. And just to kind of watch that interaction and everything, and then when I went down to his office and he starts walking me through his day-to-day stuff, and I just couldn't help but notice, like, just everybody, the staff, it was just a happy place to be, you know, a good place to be. Sometimes there can be a lot of negativity in our line of work, and so to walk into a building where the staff are happy to be there, the admin are happy to be there, everybody just wants what's best for everybody. It makes for a really cool profession, and by far my favorite position I've ever had with the Bozeman Police Department. So I know you guys are giving out a lot of gratitude, but we're very grateful for these positions for sure.
I tell people I have the best job in the whole city of Bozeman government.
Well, now I feel obligated to say something. I real estate here, so, but.
No pressure.
Thanks. Actually, even personally, I think, when I started, Scott and I got hired about the same time. And so we're kind of the older guys in the department. But when I started, there were 2 SROs, and they just kind of were the catch-all for everything in the whole district. And I'm not gonna say that wasn't very organized, but as a patrol officer and a young patrol officer, I wanted nothing to do with that. That just looked awful. And then as the program matured and got more, progressed on, and it's like, oh, these are roles now, and they got a couple more guys in there, and it seemed like it was forming into like a good program. I was like, really caught my eye as something of, okay, I've had a few years on, it might be good to have a switch. I have a kid in the school district. I was kind of learning things from parent side, then also from the PD, and so as the program got better tailored, I guess, to working with the school district, it really caught my eye, and I was, like I said, thankful enough and lucky enough to get the job. And like Connor said, I'm just grateful that I got the opportunity because it's been great, and it always helps when you have a group of guys that you have worked with for a little bit and get along with, and we work together very, very well. And so it's been a pleasure, and probably like same thing, best job I've ever had in the department. So.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys deeply and appreciate the partnership the school district has with Bozeman Police Department, and I also hope we can grow the program as well and add more in the future. But having you guys in the buildings is invaluable, and the relationships that you form with kids, and so thank you very much for everything.
You're welcome.
Trustee D.
Hi, I would like to mimic everything that everybody has already said, that they covered what I wanted to say tonight, but I do want to stress how meaningful it is as a parent and a trustee that you are in the schools, that your faces are known and seen, and the collaboration between you and the district. I do think we are very lucky here in Bozeman. I have kids in all grade bands, elementary, middle, and high school, and since John's not here, I can't really roast him or anything, but I know that though it has to be kind of crazy, and he's a big guy, there are always little kids jumping on him, and they feel very comfortable and safe. At CJ, I know that my kids know exactly who their SRO is, and there is something to that of knowing that you have other adults in your corner. So thank you very much, and I am extremely honored to give this award tonight. I move that the Board of Trustees adopt the following resolution, whereas the Jeremy Bullock Memorial Trust's mission is the improvement of school safety by ensuring all children have a positive and safe learning environment, and by providing educators and community stakeholders with the tools to promote a healthy learning environment. And whereas the School Safety Recognition Awards provide an opportunity to highlight the exceptional work of select honorees who make a significant difference in our schools and communities. And whereas the Law Enforcement or School Resource Officer, SRO, of the Year has been awarded to the Bozeman Police Department's entire SRO team for supporting and furthering the Bozeman Police Department Bozeman Public Schools partnership, as well as other supporting agencies, partnerships, exemplifying leadership, being innovative, its dedication to our students, families, and staff, and its proactive measures to enhance the safety of our district and community. And whereas the SRO team consists of SRO Harley Barbow, our SRO Connor Foley, SRO Jeremy Tankink, SRO Jonathan Ogden, and SRO Sergeant Scott McCormick. And whereas the district acknowledges and appreciates the long-standing partnership with the Bozeman Police Department and supports such a collaborative effort, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees recognize and honor the Bozeman Police Department, Bozeman School District SRO team for their contributions to safety in our district and our community.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee D, seconded by Trustee Reinhardt. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Thanks, guys. Would you gentlemen be interested, willing to meet Trustee D in the hall for a picture? Thank you. Thanks for coming.
I just wanted to add that Marilyn King and your committee is often sought after to be a member of. You are a serious conduit to this whole safety thing with the SROs, and I want to thank you for your work because it just doesn't happen. It's developed over time, so thank you very much.
Up next, consent agenda.
I'd make a motion to approve items, or action item consent 3.1, 3.2, and 3.4.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Black, seconded by trustee Wilson. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Motion passes 6-0.
I move we approve elementary district consent agenda item 3.5.1.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Reinhardt, seconded by trustee Moran. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Is there any public comment on non-agenda items? Is there any executive cabinet reports?
I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Last time we were here, we adopted the budget for the 2024-25 school year. The day after we adopted the budget, the Department of Revenue, the Director Beatty, came and spoke to the taxing jurisdictions within Gallatin County. I thought it was a meeting that went quite well. It was kind of a Q&A, it was a conversation. Director Beatty took full responsibility for what did not occur here, which was going at and valuing the newly taxable property. Took full responsibility, had already started bringing in external sources from around the state of Montana. Sounds like they've rented space in a hotel. They have a large group of appraisers here in town looking at the newly taxable property and trying to get the records updated. So they will recertify taxable values. The latest timeline I received, it was not discussed at the meeting, but the latest timeline I received from the Gallatin County School Superintendent was September 27th. So hopefully by the October board meeting, we'll have a little bit more information with what that looks like, and we can move forward.
Thank you. Any further executive cabinet reports?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Are there any Board of Trustee reports? Gary?
Just an update. The meeting is coming together pretty well. Gotten actually several responses today. A few last Friday. Still working on gathering teachers and parents. But it's coming together pretty good, and I don't know exactly yet. My role is going to be kind of managing things at the meeting. So I may need some help. So if any of you are interested for a bit in helping, I don't know what that is yet, but that would be helpful and appreciated. So thank you.
What is the date again, please?
October 2nd and 3rd, Wednesday and Thursday.
And the location again?
It's at the Grand Tree. Wednesday it starts at 10, ends at 6. And Thursday starts at 8 and ends at 3. To allow some people to travel. The farthest one so far is a superintendent from Bainville will be attending. Where is that? Where's Bainville? Do you know where the borders are for Montana, North Dakota, and Canada?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Northeast.
Northeast, yeah.
Thank you, Gary.
Yep, thanks.
Any further Board of Trustees reports? That's the last item. Seeing no further comment, I will adjourn this meeting. 6:24.